most of you know me from before, but I want to have the opportunity to tell you about some developments and my involvement with Overseas Cargo based in Miami. I think it will be quite interesting for you to learn a bit more about this company, what we do, and our speciality. And we would like the opportunity while we are here to have some one-to-one time with the different offices where we can sit and talk about how we might be able to develop business between the USA and your area. So to start with, I'd like to show you a brief video presentation about the company.
Based in Miami, Florida, operating 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, a total logistics solution: sea freight, air freight, trucking, bonded warehousing, refrigerated facilities, customs clearance, and customized services. A company you can depend on. Cost-effective, flexible, and a solid partner. With efficient systems, international hubs, and global buying power. Today, tomorrow, and in the future. Welcome to the future of integrated logistics solutions. Overseas Cargo Incorporated, your global logistics partner. Delivering now.
Okay, that's a company video that we use with our customers. And I'd like to say, first of all, thank you to Danny and the Embassy Group for giving us the opportunity to come here today and give you some more information about Overseas Cargo. I know from previous experience, from prior experience of organising these meetings, it's a lot of work. So thank you for everything and for the nice arrangements. It's much appreciated. What I'd like to do now is give you a brief PowerPoint presentation. Will give you some background about the company. It's actually been around since 1994, so it's quite well established. So it will be in 4 parts. It will be an introduction to Overseas Cargo, who we are, where we came from, what we do, and how we can help you. Also, we will talk about our trading company, which is called Rapid Buy. We will also, Ron will explain a little bit more about the software that we use. It's very specialized software that's been developed specifically for supply chain, particularly with grocery stores in mind. We do a lot of refrigerated and temperature controlled cargo. And we will talk a little bit about our future plans, which hopefully will involve a closer cooperation and relationship with the Embassy Freight Group. So that should be quite interesting for you. So let me start with the PowerPoint presentation. So first of all, who is Overseas Cargo? The company was formed in 1994. It's 100% owned by Ron Atipatu, who's here. Headquarters is in Miami. We also have staff in Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. We're the #1 container supporter shipper in South Florida with MSC, especially with reefer containers. I think we're like 60 or 70% of their whole vessel for reefer containers in the Caribbean area. And we are logistics suppliers to some of the major supermarkets in the Caribbean, and we are developing quickly now into Central and South American markets as well. Within the management team, we have over 150 years of experience of working for some of the biggest supermarket groups in the world. So for example, Ron comes from a senior level position with PepsiCo and also with General Mills. So he sat on the other side of the fence and he understands what the customer's requirements are, and he will explain better than I about the software that's been developed specifically for that type of customer in mind. So we are specialists in temperature control but also dry goods on a supply chain basis. We use a cloud-based advanced software that's been developed in-house, actually with a team of programmers in Sri Lanka that developed this software from scratch specifically to the customer's requirements. And we will give you a more detailed presentation about that later. This year so far, over last year, we are experiencing growth of about 34%. And next year we're forecasting to grow even faster. It's Ron's plan that within the next 5 years we will grow the business threefold. We are expanding quite quickly with new staff in the sales area, with new facilities. We have a plan to build our own very automated warehousing facility in the Miami area, specifically for the customer's requirements, which will be very automated, very little labour, very much linked in with our IT systems as far as control and inventory is concerned. Because of our specialisation in the food business, we also are experts in dealing with all of these bureaucracies and layers of regulation and procedure that is required when it comes to foodstuffs. So our warehouse in Miami is USDA approved. The inspectors are in there on a regular basis. We're very familiar with what's required as far as meeting the labelling and foodstuff requirements in our area, and it's a very specialist area that a lot of forwarders fall short on knowing what to do. As I mentioned before, one of the key areas that we differentiate ourselves from a lot of the general NVO and freight forwarders is our software. And there is a bit more of the video that we will show you in a moment that goes into how it works. But basically it's totally cloud-based software, which means it can be operated by our customers anywhere in the world as long as they can get on the web. It gives them total visibility of their order right down to case number, SKU, pallet, depending on whatever way they want to monitor their stock within our warehouse, they can do it, and they can pull forward their product in any configuration that they want. It gives them also a financial costing as far as what their inventory costs in the system are, how much inventory costing they have, how long it's taking for their product to turn. So it gives them total visibility about the financial aspect of their business as well. It gives them tracking and monitoring on a GPS basis. A lot of the containers that we ship, we have our own tracking devices fitted so that they have constant access of where their product is at any time. And it gives them reporting and management reporting directly from the system. They can configure their own management system. They can download the data from our system into Excel or whatever system procedure they want automatically. As I mentioned, we have a warehouse in Miami that is both dry, chilled and frozen. So it gives the customer the opportunity to configure their orders in whatever way they want. We're one of the few forwarders, I think we're probably the only forwarders, offering an LCL consolidation for reefer traffic. We do that to the Dominican Republic on a weekly basis. And we handle also some very sensitive product, which we've managed to develop specifically for one customer in mind, and that's ice cream. If anyone knows the problems with shipping ice cream, it's very temperature sensitive. So through our design system, one of our customers is able to ship and sell ice cream in the Dominican Republic. We preload the containers so that they're dropped directly at the store to order directly from the sea freight container. So there's no loss of temperature, there's no loss of quality in the handling of the product from the warehouse to the truck, from the truck to the container. It's all handled within the container itself. One of the areas that I'm specifically involved with, apart from the reefer, is developing our global logistics capability. Since I came on board with Ron's business, we have developed a lot of traffic now with Australia, particularly in the heavy cargo, project type cargo, a lot of construction equipment. We are doing quite a lot of shipping now with Australia and New Zealand, and it's one area that we want to develop with the Embassy Freight Group in general. We want to get more involved with project type cargo. One new development this year has been our trading company. We represent one of the biggest suppliers of grocery goods in the US. It's a big cooperative. I think they have something like 20 or 30,000 lines of products. And some of our customers approached us and said that they would like to develop own label products from this group. So we developed a system where we are integrating some new software with our Rapid Link, which will be called Rapid Buy. I think it will be available by the beginning of next year, specifically for one customer in Colombia that has a big sales force that will go around their customer base with handheld Android device, enter the orders directly at the store from their customers, which will feed into our Rapid Buy system, which will update our Rapid Link system as far as the inventory in our warehouse is concerned, and we will load the containers specifically to the customer's order. So it's a very automated system. And through that development, we've been approached by 2 or 3 other companies to represent their sales overseas. This one UK company, a couple of American companies. Ron has a development with some tea business from Sri Lanka, and we will start to develop more and more trading business in conjunction with our logistics capability. This is a niche market and value-added service that we believe will strengthen our relationship with our key customers. There's quite a demand for American products around the world, particularly in the food business. And we was in Hong Kong the last few days. We had some meetings with some of the shipping lines there. And in China, for example, the growth in fresh produce coming from the US has been very strong, and the forecasts are that in the next 5 to 6 years it will triple or quadruple in size. So we think it's a good opportunity at this stage to get in with a specialised service from the US of fresh produce, some dairy products, some other temperature control products, maybe offer procurement from our existing customers or just offer a logistics service depending on what the customers in Hong Kong and China require. So it's something we're going to start to plan and develop when we go back. These are some of our existing customers. There's some fairly well-known names there. These are all customers that are using our temperature-controlled service at the moment. We're one of the big players with a couple of the regional shipping lines in the region as well, which are Seaboard and Crowley. And through this quite extensive database of suppliers, we can basically procure and deliver any type of foodstuff that might be required by overseas companies. That's a brief introduction to the company. I think what we will do now is just carry on and show you a little bit more about the software and also explain a little bit more about RapidBuy, the new trading business. So I will continue a little bit with the video and maybe if you want to say some more details on that one. Yeah? So the contacts, you have 3 of us here today. Ron is pretty much travelling 24/7. He's in Asia a lot of the time, overseas. His daughter runs a business pretty much within the Miami office. I'm based in our second office in Boca Raton. But you can contact me at any stage and I will act as a focal point for any inquiries within our organisation. So you can use me as your focal point for any emails or requests and I will make sure they get to the right contact within our organisation. So we will play the second part of the video now.
Hello everybody. First of all, let me thank all of you for inviting us to come and join you. It's a pleasure to be here to meet with everybody. And thank you Danny, thank you Regina for doing all the arrangements, all the emails over the last 3 months, going back and forth. I know it's quite a challenge to arrange all this stuff. I'm not going to repeat some of the conversation that Steve has had over here now. I want to tell you, probably unlike some of you who are in the business of freight forwarding and NVO, myself and most of my staff, we came from the industry side where we were either manufacturers, retailers, or a combination thereof. I spent my time primarily on the customer side and I watched for 20+ years shipping lines, brokers, freight forwarders come visit me quite regularly offering their services. And when I had the opportunity to switch sides and get into the freight forwarding, freight broker side, I was very adamant on developing a company that would not be selling, doing the same thing all of the freight forwarders and brokers were doing at the time I was on the other side. Especially in Miami, there's over 1,000 freight forwarders scattered all over the place in Miami, and it is a very tough market. The margins are very low. The business quality is not very good, but there's a lot of promise made to customers, and there's constant haggling of prices. So, when we approached the market, I decided with our expertise that we would handle, without any concern of risk, the refrigerated, frozen, and chilled market. This has been our most successful approach to the NVO freight forwarding business. Today, we are probably one of the largest leading refrigerated service providers in South Florida, and our clientele is quite extensive, and some of our clients are fairly large companies that has a large penetration into the food business in the Caribbean especially. So having all of you are freight forwarders and NVOs, our interest in the Asian market is to try and take our concept, use our software, and try to develop a niche market in the Asia business. Now, I have been traveling back and forth from Asia over the last year and a half, meeting various people, trying to understand what the market is, try to understand what the potential opportunity we have to bring to the market. And every time I meet with people, I find that most NVOs, most freight forwarders, most ship lines have a very different knowledge of this business. And they all seem to look at the business from a freight side rather than a supply chain side. And I can tell you, having been a shipper for many, many years, shippers will answer your question based on the questions you ask them. And many of the freight forwarders and NVOs, when they come to a shipper, they are pretty much settled in going after the price. Their discussion normally 90% of the time is surrounded about what price they can provide for that shipper. And it eventually ends up where you would, if you're lucky, you would reduce the price and they would give you the business, or if you're high price and you may have a good relationship, you may enjoy some of the business. So my approach to our business and our specialized services is primarily on the supply chain side. We do purchase order management, inventory management, warehouse management, tracking, tracing, all these things geared to adding a better margin to a supplier, whether they are a distributor or a retailer. So we try to approach this topic understanding their deficiencies in their process and trying to improve that process with them. This is somewhat a different approach to the NVO freight forwarding business. Now, over the years, I have developed the software to support our concept and our approach. Now, what I would like to offer for all of you that are in this business is our expertise, our knowledge, and where we can offer training if you have the customer base that can be approached. We offer them a supply chain solution that is strictly on a very specialized basis, whether it is reefer cargo, chilled cargo, dry cargo, whatever they may be, but taking it one step further than just offering the freight and a transit time for handling that container. This is the way we like to see us approach the market. Now, the last few days in our meetings with a couple of the ocean carriers, it was very clear and evident in the next few years in Asia, the food business is going to play a big role for the freight forwarders and the freight industry in general. The growth rate that I heard from CMA for perishable cargo last year to this year is a 13% increase, just in the perishable side. Most of the other freight has been flat or less than the previous year, except the perishable food business. And I can tell you, without any doubt, we have the know-how, we have the technology to capture this market, and I think we all should focus and try to see where we can establish ourselves in this trend, because there is not too many people who are taking advantage of it at this particular time. One or two other small things I want to tell you. When it comes to the refrigerated market, most NVOs that I know, I don't know if you have the same feeling, is somewhat reluctant, some are scared, they feel it's a high-risk area to be involved in. I am here to tell you that in my many years of business, if the controls are there, if the tracking is there, and you know basically the fundamentals of how to manage refrigerated cargo, the risk is no greater than carrying any other type of cargo. It just needs some specific knowledge and specific involvement. And we in particular have unique relationships with our customers. We not only ship the cargo to the customer, we in many cases are in the customer's warehouse, customer's facility on a very frequent basis, auditing and verifying that what we ship arrive in the condition that we would accept as a shipper or a consignee. So we are watching this cargo very, very carefully. At the same time, that allows us to develop a deeper understanding and a relationship with the customer, which helps a long way when our competitor or when the ocean carrier decides to go and reduce the price or try to see if they can capture the freight based on price. Because the customer is reluctant to leave us because they see us in their facilities at least once a month, looking at the inventory and looking at product quality. So these are some of the things that we are very prepared to teach anyone who is interested in joining us, partnering with us, collaborating with us, any form or the other, and see what can be done in your specific regions and specific areas. One last comment I want to mention is until about a year ago, we never got ourselves involved in the procurement side of the business. We only acted as a convenient portal, networking offer to clients who came to us and said, you know, can you help us buy this product? Can you tell me about this product? But about a year ago, I made the decision that we are to get involved in the procurement and the supply side. So since then, I've been developing the network, the software. Today, we have access to private label product, organic product, even some equipment that Steve has been working with the Vietnam group, I believe, at the moment. So we have some buying power behind us if somebody is looking to procure some merchandise. Besides the United States, we are in Latin America and South America. We have quite a big bit of networking in that area if somebody is looking for any specific help or assistance in that area. Having told you all of this information, only thing I just want to leave all of you is in the next few days, if any of you have questions, want to come see us, want to discuss, I'll be happy to share the information and see if we can do something together in some of these areas. Thank you for your time. We should run this a little faster.
Information available. Please ask the flight for global binary and continuous tracking for mission cities worldwide. Our network of cities is connected using our rapid software. The unique customer